Hey, Glovelies, and welcome back to Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Hallie.
And I'm Melissa.
And this week we have lots to talk about because you know us, we love to yap. And later we are approaching another iconic Glove Actually historical moment as we welcome the great Hambino himself, Patrick Renna from 1993's The Sandlot. But as always, if there's anything you want to hear us talk about here on the podcast, be sure to leave it in the comments and be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes every Wednesday. All right, Glovelies, before we get into the exciting bits, let's kick things off as always with our Pookies of the week. Melissa, who's your Pookie of the week this week?
This week, in the spirit of the episode, my Pookie is going to be Alejandro Kirk, catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. And let me explain why he's my Pookie this week. Because for a while there, I didn't really pay attention to the names of the players on the other teams. I didn't care. I only cared about the Orioles. But anytime the Orioles played Toronto, and they do play them enough, I saw Kirk behind the plate. And my family and I gave him a nickname, and we actually call him the Great Hambino. So I distinctly remember saying on more than one occasion, oh, the Great Hambino is playing today. So that being said, I've come to really like and respect Kirk over the last couple of years. He's a two-time All-Star, winner of a Silver Slugger Award. And I'm not going to lie, when we play Toronto, I get pretty anxious when he steps up to the plate because he's such a power hitter. And fun fact, he will be the first Mexican-born player or he was the first Mexican-born player to hit a home run in the World Series. And he did it twice, including a 3-run homer in Game 3. So props to Alejandro Kirk. Have a great 2026 season and go easy on the O's this year.
I love that. I love that. We love Kirk. He's great.
Yes.
Hallie, who's your Pookie of the week?
My Pookie is a returning Pookie. I bring him up frequently, and that is our production supervisor, Theodore, my cat. Yeah, he's the most wonderful cat in the world. He's the best, most easygoing producer I've ever worked with. Also the only producer I've ever worked with. So Theodore, keep on being a perfect angel.
Definitely so true. So also in honor of this week's guest, I've elected to choose one of my favorite MLB catchers for my Pookie of the week. So this week, my Pookie is Danny Jansen, currently of the Texas Rangers. He previously played for the Tampa Bay Rays, which is where we got to know and love him, but he was traded at the deadline last year to the Brewers, and he also got to see the postseason last year. So we have waxed poetic about men who wear slutty little sports glasses, and Danny Jansen not only has custom uniform pants to accommodate his butt, but also he wears slutty little glasses. So he's also great defensively, and he's a great contributor to his team, and wherever he is. So for those reasons and many others, Danny Jansen, you are my Pookie of the week this week.
Courtney's ideal man.
Honestly, you're so right. All right, Lovelies, we want to hear from you. Who is your Pookie of the week this week? Be sure to let us know in the comments and tag your Pookie if you can. All right, Lovelies. As did our Twilight episode with our friend Michael Welch, this will go down as one of the most exciting days in Glove Actually recorded history thus far. I am overflowing with excitement. You know him, you love him, living proof that heroes get remembered, the legendary Patrick Renna. Welcome to the show, Patrick.
Wow, thank you.
It is truly an honor to have you here with us. So I would love to talk to you about the Sandlot. I would love to talk to you about the Dodgers because I know you love the Dodgers. So we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. But first things first, I've got to know, did you pick a Pookie of the week?
Listen, I didn't pick a Pookie of the week because I like to keep things fresh. And now I don't know what to do because I'm just thinking like what MLB player fits so nicely in their pants and has a nice, cute little tush. That's all you guys are making me think about here. So I don't know, I guess I'm actually going to pick 3. How about that?
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm going to go Kyle Tucker because you did bring up the Dodgers. And just to make every non-LA sports fan hate me a little bit right now, I'll bring him up as Pookie of the week. It's just crazy what money can buy you guys, okay? It doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy a winning MLB team. Let's just say that. How about that?
100%.
Period.
And then I'm going to go Drake May just to really throw everyone off because I know I'm a huge New England Patriots fan. I'm from Boston. I shouldn't even be a Dodgers fan, but I've been here for 30 years. But here's my defense, and I'm sticking with it. There was no football team when I was here, so I never got transferred over. And when he went to the AFC Championship in that last game, and there was basically no expression on his face on the sideline, I was like, this guy's baller. This guy's my Pookie of the week. And he looks good in those pants. That's what I thought. So there you go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, actually, I just have two. That's it.
Awesome.
No worries. No worries. I love that. So, Glovelies, if you are millennials like us, you probably remember Patrick as Hamilton Porter, catcher extraordinaire from the 1993 nostalgic favorite, The Sandlot, or maybe you remember him from The Big Green. But much like our friend Michael Welch, beyond his cemented status as a beloved icon of the 90s, is a loving husband and father of three with a heart that beats blue for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, I want to start this out with a Dodgers question, Patrick. Tell us a little bit about what got you into Dodger baseball.
Well, so here's how that progressed. I'm from Boston. I left when I was 10, so I was pretty young, but I did watch the Red Sox. I did watch, the Larry Bird Celtics. I mean, as a young ginger myself, watching a giant ginger, dominate the NBA was pretty cool. But moved to LA, and my first friend met him in the gym, and he was a huge Laker fan, and he had Eddie, Nicky V and Eddie Jones and Cedric Sabalas, all posters on his wall. But then Shaq came to town, and I met Shaq once. I went to this thing called Shaqtacular, and I forget what it was. It was some sort of fundraiser for, nonprofit, and obviously he was the headliner. And I'm playing basketball, and I feel this hand palm my head, and the fingers come down to about my jawline, and I hear the deep voice, "What's up, little man?" And I turn around. Now this is post Sandlot, and he said something like, "I like you in Sandlot" or something, and then I shook his hand, and I couldn't even get my little fingers around the edges of his hand. That's how big he was, and still is. And then Kobe came to town, and it was over. Like watching Shaq and Kobe, and then late 90s, early 2000s, all my friends, basketball was my favorite sport. And that just kind of transferred over to the Dodgers. Like, you got to pick a team in LA, and I live on the east side of LA. I always have. So I can hear the fireworks going off every time the Dodgers win. I know it seems like I'm bandwagon. It's just everyone I root for wins. That's I don't know what to say. But lucky me, I stuck with the Patriots, and I've never left.
So I've noticed that a lot of the other actors from The Sandlot are also Dodger fans.
Yeah.
Do you ever get together and go to the games together?
Well, yeah. So then the 25th anniversary happened, and that was a really cool experience because, we've then gotten to meet a lot of Dodgers and, become either friendly with them, or like, I almost could say Justin Turner is a friend of mine now. I just did his podcast with his wife, and we'll chat once in a while, and that's the only major leaguer I got, but it's a pretty cool one.
Of course,
but like you meet these guys, and then you run into them, and they remember us, and that's pretty like mind blowing for us growing up watching these larger than life players. And so how can you not root for the Dodgers? So I remember we were at the 25th, and we were all in the dugout, all the Sandlot guys, and Matt Kemp came out, and he goes, "Oh my God, you guys, the Sandlot guys," and he starts crying, or his eyes well up, and he goes, "You're why I got into baseball." And we're like, Matt Kemp just came out and said, "We're why I got into baseball." So we're all kind of like teary-eyed, and it's pretty. We've gotten to meet some amazing sports players because of this movie, and as you guys are huge sports fans, and I don't fan out over anyone except sports players. Like, if I see the biggest actor in the world, sure, I'll be starstruck, but I won't. If I saw Tom Brady, I don't know that words would come out of my mouth. As a Red Sox fan too, like, we're growing up in Boston, you love to see the people that you play against. So these guys are just larger than life, and meeting Shaq was crazy, and all those sort of things. So yeah, that was pretty cool with the other guys in the Dodgers.
I love that.
Amazing. How many of them quote the movie back to you when you meet them?
They all do. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like, you have inspired, like you said, like, you've inspired generations of people to join or play baseball. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But we didn't do that on purpose. We didn't know that we were doing that. It's it just kind of came. So we're just sports fans too. So when we meet these guys, it's like it's pretty jaw dropping.
So you mentioned that a lot of the athletes are recognizing you. So has the recognition always been this widespread? Have you noticed a big uptick at any specific points in the last 30 years, or is there a big resurgence now? What are you seeing?
I think it's just progressively kind of gotten more. When the movie came out, it was a success, and people loved it. I remember being in the back of the audience watching it, because we would sneak in and watch it. It was our first movie, and kind of check it out. And there's only 2 movies I've seen someone double over laughing, like actual knees, like where knee slapping came from. and Home Alone is one, and when Squints kisses the lifeguard is. So when you see that, you're like, ooh, people really like it. But the movie was a moderate success in the theaters, but then VHS really took it over. And then I think digital, so this is what I'm saying, like every sort of change that we've grown up with has made it exponentially more popular. And then I think the generation switch really changed things. So when millennials, which is really the generation that we're watching this movie, we're all a little older. We're kind of on the cusp. The Sandlot guys, we're all in our mid to late 40s, but that sort of generation of older millennial that now when they had kids, and all their kids are probably 15 to 20, and that was about the 25th anniversary. So that 20th, 25th anniversary really exploded it. And it started on the kids. And now I'm seeing it again. Now you're seeing 3 generations and it's still hanging in there. We kind of will be sitting together and we'll just kind of chuckle once in a while. Like, people ask us that question, like, did you know it was going to be like this? And there's no way you could know that. There's no way you know what will hit and what won't.
That's definitely it. I can tell you, I saw it in the movie theater when it first came out. I am also on the cusp, only I'm closer to the millennial side than the Gen X side. I saw it in the movie theater, and I have 2 kids, and I kid you not, in the summers, that movie gets played at least 3 times a weekend in my house. Yeah. I mean, it's constantly on. My son actually called it the Beast movie for a little while because we named it after him. Yeah. Cute. But they love it, and I know they're going to pass it down too one day.
So what is your biggest takeaway from being part of such an iconic film? What have you found to be the most fulfilling part of being a part of that?
I think that everywhere I go, it opens doors, and I meet people that I wouldn't have normally met. I think that's probably the most special part about it, when you do have 3 generations that come up to you, a grandfather, his son, and their son and daughter, and they say, you've been in our household for you've been in our living room for 33 years. Mm-hmm. That just kind of makes it fulfilling and worth it,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So obviously we know from the epilogue of the film that Ham Porter pursued professional wrestling as the Great Hambino. So I was just wondering if that was something that production came up with, or if you had any hand in that.
No, that was the director wrote everything in that movie. The only people ask if we ad-lib things, and I would say that the ad-libbing probably came more in physical comedy than anything else. There's a great scene where Marty York Yaya is being suspended over the Beast to get the ball, and then he gets face to face with the Beast, and then the director before it said, when you come up, you're super scared, and I don't know, do something like blah, 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 I don't know. But he didn't mean do this. He just meant like do like something, I don't know. And so Marty grabs the ball and sees the dog and goes, blah, 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 and it just is so random and hysterical that it stayed in the movie. And I think there's probably 1,000 things like that. Probably my kiss and wave to the girls before I do the Hammond ball. I'm sure that was found on the day. So there was an ad-libbing like that, but it wasn't like this big improv show.
I love that. So I don't know about the rest of my co-hosts, but I am dying to know about details about your brief stint with the Savannah Bananas. So what was that like? And are we going to see you back again this year?
I heard we are.
With the Savannah Bananas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard. Maybe. I mean, how did you hear that we are? I want another shot. I want to get a hit this time. So Jesse Cole, the owner, called me, and I was supposed to go to Miami in 2024, and I couldn't make it, so we had to do it the next season. But it ended up being great because I brought my son and a couple of his friends, and the reaction was pretty humbling. People are pretty excited. I think they all wanted me to hit a home run, and I wanted to secretly tell them, hey, I'm not a Major League Baseball player, so don't have those expectations. I really wanted to hit it, but the welcome that I got from that crowd was, it kind of made me get emotional. And then the thing about Savannah Bananas is they don't fix their games. So when Jesse told me he wanted me to come out, we were just going to do some fun TikToks together. And then he said, I think I want to have you go up at bat. And I was like, what, dude, I don't, like I'm a sporty guy. I played baseball growing up. I played basketball. I play all sports well for a 5'6", let's just say not in my peak form anymore, but
But you made contact.
but I'm not a minor league, major league baseball player. So he was like, we don't fix it. The best I can do is I'll give you my left-handed pitcher who's on the slower side, and I'll tell him to try and throw a changeup. And I was like, what? Jesse, a changeup is still 80 miles an hour for you guys. Like, I can't do this. So I was freaking out. I was in the batting cage the whole time. And then, yes, I did. There was one he threw. I got a piece of it. I popped it up into the outfield, and they had to, they caught it. Like, they don't just let it drop,
They get to do backflip before they catch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but you hit it.
I was going to say.
I got a piece. It's funny because I was acting out that scene where I do the called shot.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to miss the first one. So that was easy. Jesse was like, can you miss the first one? I was like, that's not going to be a problem. But funny enough, the first one was so perfect. I actually wish I swung at it because I probably would have gotten a hit. But I had to check swing because if I had fully swung, I would have hit it. So I sort of check swing. And then the second one hit my hand. And I was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And so then the third one, I got a little piece of and, dinked it in the outfield.
All right. Well, I would love to see you come back this year. You can see it again.
I would do anything for the Savannah Bananas. That was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
That is so fantastic. So aside from baseball and aside from the Sandlot, I know that you have started your own media company and you've started your own clothing brand. So tell us a little bit about the status of Hambino Media and Hambino Athletics. Do you have any exciting stuff coming up for 2026?
I do. I'm with Hambino Athletics. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and I started it with this young lady, Jessie Wilner, who's runs the Mighty Company, and that's a high-end jacket line for women. And she's the creative director behind it and kind of sets the design and stuff. And, we wanted to just kind of make it a little bit more than just a merch line. We're in the process now of, we're going to probably come out with a new set of, items or whatever for the spring and summer. So we'll be bringing out some new things soon. And that's been a fun experience. It's just kind of cool. I saw all the shirts with my face on it. So I was like, I might as well make my own here and, do it myself. So it's been cool. And then, Hambino Media, I partnered up with a marketing company 5 years ago, and I built up their media team. They have like 500 clients. I built up their media area, and now building up Hambino Media, which to do sort of traditional Hollywood things as opposed to like what this team was doing was sort of videos for clients and websites and things. So now Hambino Media is moving more into the traditional side of things, and we have a horror movie that we're developing, also a comedy movie, a TV show, and then I'm probably going to do a fun little YouTube TV short episodic, and I'm going to put the other Sandlot guys in it. So nice. I'm going to do something with them on my YouTube channel soon. So it'll come out this summer, but it should be fun.
Going back to a little bit more of the baseball side of things, I saw that you took at least one of your kids to the World Series last year. So I have a hunch that the answer is yes, but are you hoping to pass your love of baseball onto your children?
Oh, it's already there. Yeah, my oldest loves it. He has been playing since he was 5 or 6. I coached him. I'm actually assistant coaching him again this year. And then I'm pretty sure his younger brother is going to be the Major League Baseball player because, younger brothers always have to live up to their big brother. And he is already he'll throw the ball back and he's 5. And every time someone catches it, they're like, whoa, nice. He has got a gun and he's 5. So once he stays more focused, he's also for sure the ham of the family besides me. So, once he will actually listen to me on a baseball field, I think I'll get him to start. And I have a funny feeling he's going to, crush some dingers. He's quite the little athlete.
So before we hit the top 5 for the week, or your rapid fire quiz and then the top 5 for the week, what are your 2026 World Series blind predictions?
Wow. Well, I didn't. Yeah. So I did bring my oldest to the World Series, and I brought him to the 18-inning game, by the way. I brought him and.
Oh, wow.
I mean, for sure, the Dodgers are going. There's no question. It's just going to happen. I mean, it's probably maybe Dodgers Yankees. That's always fun.
Well, you're talking to 2 Orioles fans, and the Orioles now have Pete Alonso. So
we're hoping.
Okay, all right. So maybe we'll see.
We'll
You never
see,
know.
but Dodgers for sure.
I don't think there's any way with picking, like, they signed everyone.
Yeah,
Did.
you really did.
Except for Pete Alonso.
That's true. That's true. We had well, someone's got to go to the World Series on the American League, so we wanted
That's
to,
true.
give it to you.
Thanks for sharing the wealth.
Let's say Orioles Dodgers. I like that. That would be fun. I'd love a little Baltimore LA matchup.
I'd be very down for that. I hope we see that. Okay, so now that we've had a chance to get kind of into the nitty gritty of it, Hallie is going to give you some rapid fire questions so that the Glovelies can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
I'm ready. How fast do I need to answer this? Rapid fire.
Don't overthink it.
Do I need to explain
rapid.
myself? Because I'm
You
already
can.
stressed out. I'm already stressed out.
Okay, then you don't have to explain yourself to us or the Glovelies.
No, I'm
All
gonna
right.
explain. Listen, the Glovelies, they will find you, and I know about them, and they will punish you.
The Glovelies are vicious. They're
You're
out for
vicious.
blood.
And you're like the Globetrotters. You're fantastic at basketball here. So there you go.
Yeah, they're gonna come for you.
We're so well rounded.
All right. What is your favorite sport?
Honestly, my favorite sport's basketball.
Mhm.
It's my favorite sport to play. I would say probably my favorite sport to watch is baseball in October. October baseball, the sport changes into something that only people who understand and love the game can appreciate, but it is so nerve-wracking. There's something about baseball. So I'll say playing basketball, October baseball.
Love it.
Excellent. And your favorite sports team?
Well, this is just a cluster F. If
Yeah.
I'm a mess. I'm a disaster. I like the Patriots. I like the Lakers. Like, what am I? I like the Dodgers and the Red Sox. I'm just Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are never going to talk to me when they meet me. Let's just say that they're disappointed and they don't even know why. But I think my favorite, if I had to pick a favorite sports team, it's probably the Lakers. I just love watching them. Lakers or Dodgers,
And your favorite current active athlete?
Wow, favorite current active athlete. I mean, it's hard to not say Freddie Freeman with all what he's done for the Dodgers, but so I'll say Freddie and Ohtani because there's something about that Michael Bublé. So his walk-up song is that Michael Bublé song. There's something about when that song plays and he walks up to the plate and he does his little measurement thing and the crowd just goes so bananas that experience is, I'll just say, that's my favorite athlete experience that I've seen happen. It's like mesmerizing and everything stops. You know how in baseball you're eating hot dogs and you can miss a bat? When you hear the walk up, you turn and you're like, hold on.
Your favorite athlete of all time?
Maybe Kobe. I think Kobe might take it. He was a Sandlot fan too, which makes it even more heartbreaking that we never got to meet him. But he was a special person to watch.
And what is your favorite project that you've been a part of?
Hard to not say Sandlot, because of what it's meant to so many people. There's always a two-part answer to what's your favorite project, because it's like, one is my experience filming something, and then two is the effect it has on the audience. So effect it has on the audience is Sandlot, because there's nothing that has ever matched that or even come close. My favorite filming experiences are probably things that I've done in my later years when I was on my own. I traveled to Europe. I got in Canada. And so things on the road with other young, 19, 20-year-olds and meeting people and partying. And, so they're like, like college type memories that were a lot of fun. But Sandlot probably wins that award.
And your favorite ballpark snack?
Dodger Dog. They're so good. They're so good.
And if you played baseball, what would your walk-up song be?
Well, my son I had to pick a walk-up song for him in his 2 years ago, and I did "Who Let the Dogs Out." So I think that's mine. I like it. It feels right.
It does feel right. It's appropriate.
What a fun one.
Yeah.
What to you is your most memorable on-screen moment?
Well, again, it's funny because for me, filming something could be different than what has meant so much to others. Like You're Killing Me, Smalls. Obviously, if there's a number one, that's the number one. Favorite filming experience for me would be like when we filmed the explosion of the vacuum cleaner scene. I did my own stunt that day, and they had like a whole bunch of boxes, and I had to fall off of the thing into the boxes. So I wasn't even acting there, but I just had this great
You're just
time
having
filming
fun.
that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would be the answer there.
And your favorite sports memory?
I think my favorite sports memories are the ones that are continuing to happen with my kids. Like those kind of win over anything that I ever did, And I forget that you always hear the quote, like the only man in your life that truly will be happy when you are better than them is your father. And that, you say that to your kids, and that's true. Like I truly want them to do bigger and better things than me. And it's not that I'm jealous of other people, but you always have that competition with other people. But the only people you don't have that competition with your own kids. So when I see my kid, hit a home run or get a triple or, and he's so excited, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is what sports is about.
Yay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Love that. It's so true.
Thank you. What a treat.
All right. Well, so now that the Glovelies know you a little bit better, let's dive into our top 5 of the week. So this week's top 5 is our top 5 Sandlot quotes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Melissa has said multiple times that she thinks that Ham Porter is the most quotable character. I would tend to agree with that. However, I'm a little bit biased. My top 5 list is very Squints heavy because
What?
Yeah.
Squints was one of my first childhood crushes as a
Yes,
kid.
I understand.
So
He's the one who got to kiss the lifeguard. We get it.
yeah, I was gonna say just based on the people that I've dated as an adult, Squints fits
They
that
all look
type.
like Squints.
Yeah, they all look like Squints.
They got Squints vibes.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Melissa, do you want to start us off? What's your number 5?
Sure. My number 5 is kind of a two-parter from the pool scene. It is Squints, Courtney. I've swum here every summer of my adult life, which cracks me the hell up because he's talking like he's an 80-year-old man and then been planning it for years. I love that line so much. And I've definitely used that a couple of times in conversation. And I always hope people pick up on the fact that it is a Sandlot quote.
All right, Hallie, what you got for number 5?
I could not pick a number 5 because there are just too many good, perfect insults in this movie.
Yeah,
you're
and so
absolutely
my
right.
number 5 is every single insult. I think they're all so funny.
I think that's fair.
And
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Thank you.
My number 5, I know this is kind of shocking, coming in kind of early on the list, but it's You're Killing Me, Smalls, followed by Ham Porter's s'mores tutorial.
Wow.
I don't think that there's ever been a better s'mores tutorial ever out there in the world. So you've got that cornered. I do also think I own a t-shirt that says You're Killing Me, Smalls, which is, I mean, that when you think of the Sandlot, that's the quote that you think of. However, in terms of my top 5 favorites, I've just got a couple other that dig a little deeper into me. So I'm sticking it at number 5.
But Glovelies, I think we revolt on this one. That is very low.
That is low. I'm very surprised. My goodness.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
That's fine. At least it made the top 5. If we found out it didn't make it, oh my gosh.
Yes. All right, Melissa, what you got for number 4?
You play ball like a girl. And because that is apparently the worst insult, which is worse than eating Wheaties with your mama's toe jam and bombing for apples in the toilet. So that's apparently the number 1.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Honestly, in this day and age, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was always meant as one. Fun fact, it was always meant as one. I felt so bad that I was talking so much trash that I threw a little compliment at the end. Everyone just took it wrong. Not my fault.
You're so right.
So true.
All right, Hallie, what you got for number 4?
So my number 4 is at the end of when all the boys had Chew on the carnival ride and everyone's just been puking and Ham says something like, I feel so much better.
Yes.
Right after a burp. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anytime I have a big pressure release similar to, I do say I feel so much better in honor of and in homage to.
My number 4, like your number 5, Melissa, it's been planning it for years. diabolical.
That's a
It's,
great one.
It is.
premeditated.
Oh yeah.
So love that.
Worked out for him now.
It really
Got
did.
the
They had
girl.
9 kids.
Nice.
So
Dear God.
he knew what he was doing. That's the first of several Squints quotes that will make it into my top 5. All right, Melissa, hit us with your number 3.
All right. It's funny because Patrick mentioned this one, and every time I hear it, it cracks me up. Hey, is that your sister out there in left field? Is she naked? Do you think she'd go out with me?
So good.
My God, that line kills me. And here's why I love it too. I like to think in my head that there are MLB players out there pulling that same crap and just trying to throw them off the game and saying quotes like that. And I swear to God, I hope it's Adley Rutschman that's doing it.
Period.
Oh.
Hallie, what you got for number 3?
I have one that I think is going to, well, I think a lot of these are going to be very popular on the list, but my number 3 is Forever.
That's also my number 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My little sister and I say to each other all the time.
That, yeah. Very
It's just in
popular
our, but
quote
it's just
in
in
my
the,
household.
it's just in the vernacular.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
for sure. Forever is also my number 3. So
And I was gonna say it happens to be my number 2.
okay, there we go. We're moving right along.
Forever. Because honestly,
Forever.
can you say forever without pronouncing
No.
it that way in your head?
I can't.
Never again. No.
No. Once you
That's
hear
how
it
you
once,
say it now. Yeah.
yeah, forever. Yes.
Everyone in my family is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny.
Oh my gosh, too good. Hallie, what you got for number 2?
Good old L7 weenie.
That is also my number 2.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
L7 weenie.
Yeah. You can't talk about the Sandlot without talking about L7 weenie.
You really can't.
You
Yeah.
really
Also,
can't.
The partnership, the visual of the L7
Mhm.
along with saying L7 weenie, it unmatched for me personally.
Mhm.
So good. But yeah, that's also my number 2.
You are so in sync.
I promise I wasn't copying your homework.
Okay, we've made it to number 1.
Hmm.
Melissa, what's your number 1?
It is You're Killing Me Smalls. It is 100% You're Killing Me Smalls. I say it at least once a day to my kids. They know. And I feel like that's the one quote that everybody knows from the Sandlot. I mean, if you've seen it, you know that's, and honestly, it's also like a bonding moment. You're out somewhere and you say, "You're killing me, Smalls," and someone who knows, that quote, there you go. Now, instant connection. You've seen the Sandlot together, and there's other things that you would probably love too, just like the Sandlot. Either a scene, baseball. It's like an instant conversation starter. So
I love it.
Yes.
All right, Hallie, what's your number 1?
Who's she in regards to Babe Ruth?
Why am I not surprised?
A Scotty Small. A Scotty Small's number 1 pick. Wow, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I think you said the Great Bambi. That wimpy deer.
Yeah.
I think you could go with, you mean that's the same guy. That would be a really good. You mean that's the same guy?
Yeah.
That one too. That, I think just that entire back and forth is so good.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh.
catalyst for so much of the drama.
Yeah. My number 1 is it's not a kid quote. It is the iconic quote that I actually referenced it earlier in the episode. It is the great Art LaFleur as Babe Ruth. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's something that I feel has, it's sort of like the hallmark of where the Sandlot has sort of positioned itself in the zeitgeist of pop culture. We've waxed poetic about the Sandlot a lot on the podcast. It does such a great job of capturing, you said it best, Patrick, earlier in the episode. You said it was like lightning in a bottle. It captures that perfect nostalgia of what it felt like to be a kid. And it doesn't necessarily have to be stuck in any one time period. It is timeless. It does such a great job of really nailing just the wonder of what it felt to be a kid. It kind of nailed that, the feeling of what summer vacation used to feel like. I mean, if there's anything that I want to see on the 4th of July, it's the 4th of July Sandlot
Exactly.
night game scene
Yep.
with the fireworks.
Best
So
4th of July
good.
scene in a movie, probably.
Ever.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would watch that scene for 2.5 hours straight before I would watch Independence Day again.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So now that we have wrapped up our top 5 Sandlot quotes for the week, Lovelies, we want to hear from you. What is your favorite quote from the Sandlot? Be sure to let us know in the comments. All right, Lovelies. Once again, I would like to take an opportunity to thank the lovely, the incomparable, the talented, the legendary Patrick Renna for joining us here today. Thank you so much for talking Sandlot and Dodgers and all those fun things with us. We really appreciate it. This is a dream come true.
And Orioles. We talked
Yes,
And Orioles.
And Orioles. So if the Glovelies want to follow you and follow along with more of your content and your future projects with Hambino Media and Hambino Athletics, where can they find you?
my name at Patrick Renna on all the socials.
All right.
Fantastic. Well, we cannot wait to see what is next for you in 2026. And you are welcome back to the pod anytime.
Well, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
you
This is
so
a dream.
much. Yeah, we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. It was so fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, nice meeting you.
It was
It
nice.
was so
You
nice
as well.
to
Thank
meet you too.
you.
Okay,
So,
bye, Glovelies.
Love that.
All right, Glovelies, before we wrap up, as always, we are going to leave you with some recommended media for this week, brought to you by our very own No Regrets reader. Take it away, Melissa.
Well, obviously, this week we are going to cover one of the most iconic baseball movies ever made, The Sandlot from 1993, because, we haven't talked enough about it today. You can't ever talk enough about The Sandlot, guys.
Honestly.
All right, so it's starring Tom Gyrie, Mike Vitar, Patrick Renna, of course, Chauncey Leopardi, Art LaFleur, Dennis Leary, James Earl Jones, and more. And this movie isn't just about baseball. It's about the nostalgia of summer with your friends as a kid. So in the summer of 1962, Scott Smalls moves to a new town after his mom gets remarried and finds himself desperate to make some new friends. He stumbles upon an abandoned lot where a group of 8 boys play baseball day in and day out, seeking a ninth to fill out their baseball team of misfits. Scott doesn't know anything about baseball, but Benny Rodriguez takes pity on Scott and invites him to play anyway. And thus begins a summer filled with hijinks centered around playing baseball in the abandoned Sandlot and the legend of Babe Ruth and the baseball stealing St. Bernard next door, ravenous for any children that may cross over the fence. So this movie is one of those movies that makes you think, how can you not be romantic about baseball? It's a reminder that for a lot of kids, the love of baseball doesn't necessarily start from watching MLB players or even playing in leagues at a young age. It starts with something as simple as playing catch in the backyard with your parents or with your friends. It's not about winning, it's just about having fun. The movie itself is about a life during a simpler time in America when kids would be able to leave the house early in the morning, stay out all day with their friends, and come back late at night without their parents ever truly wondering where they were. A time before technology when we were forced to go outside and play in order to entertain ourselves. It's about the friendships you establish early in life that may not last forever, but they still have an everlasting impact on your life. It's about all the stupid things we do as kids, from believing urban myths, avoiding adults, chasing people we have crushes on, totally disregarding our parents' rules, experimenting with substances we shouldn't be touching, and instigating rivalries with bullies. It's about camaraderie, loyalty, and fun, all centered around the sport of baseball. I love everything about this movie. Like I said with Patrick, I saw it in the movie when I was a kid, when it first came out. I've loved it since then, and I have passed that love on to my kids. I could probably quote the entire movie. I can't even tell you my favorite scene because I love them all. But as noted by our top 5, it is easily one of the most quotable movies of all time. And I will say, if you have never watched it, I recommend that you watch it on the 4th of July. Like Courtney mentioned, that 4th of July scene may be one of the best Independence Day scenes ever made. And if it doesn't make you tear up a little, you probably don't love baseball or America.
I celebrate my patriotism by watching The Sandlot.
That's right. So this movie is worth all the stars, all of them. Watch it, love it, and pass it on to your children. This is one of those baseball movies that needs to live on Forever.
Forever. I give it 9 stars, 1 for each member of the team.
Ooh,
Mhm.
boom. I love it. And one for Babe Ruth.
Yes, period. I think that I do think this is one of the most iconic baseball movies of all time, if not the most iconic baseball movie. I don't care that it's not about a major league team, although a major league team actually does make an appearance in this movie.
I think it not being about a major league team makes it more iconic.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly my point. This is just there's no other word to describe it other than iconic, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would be surprised if anybody listening to this podcast has not watched The Sandlot. However, if you have not, what are you doing with your life?
If you've never watched The Sandlot before, I want you to comment and let us know that you've never watched The Sandlot before, and then I want you to watch The Sandlot and comment and let us know what you thought.
Exactly. Let us know how awesome
Please.
it is. You're an L7 weenie if you don't.
Period. If you don't. Well, on that subject, Melissa, if our Glovelies want to talk to you about this recommendation or to make recommendations of their own, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Facebook at no_regrets_reader.
I love it. Fantastic. 1,000,000 stars.
1,000,000 stars.
All right, Glovelies. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Glove Actually. Once again, I would like to shout out the iconic Patrick Renna for joining us. And thank you all for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon podcasts. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop for when we post new episodes every Wednesday. All right, ladies, what are we looking forward to most this week in the world of baseball? Who do you hope has fun this week? Melissa?
I hope all the players that are getting ready for the World Baseball Championship and that are going to be on the rosters for their countries are having fun this week. Special shout out to the Oriole representing Team USA, Gunnar Henderson.
Love that. Hallie, who do you hope has fun this week?
We are getting ever closer to the Winter Olympics, aka the real Olympics. So I hope all the figure skaters have so much fun at the Olympics. And I am looking forward to seeing swirls and twirls.
Period. I love it. We did see that Jorge Mateo, who previously played for the Orioles on the infield and the outfield, kind of wherever he was needed, was signed to a 1-year contract with the Atlanta Braves. So Jorge Mateo, I'm so sorry. You are now officially out of my radar. I love you so much. I hope you have a good week. You and Ozzy Albies will definitely have a spot in my heart, but unless you're playing the Pirates or if you're playing the Orioles, probably won't see you a lot this year.
But we love you, Jorge.
I do. I love you so much. You're so fast. And I'm going to miss you.
He was good at stealing bases. He was a good
Orioles base stealing legend, Jorge Mateo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this has been Glove Actually. I'm Courtney.
I'm Hallie.
And I'm Melissa.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week, Glovelies. And as always, be kind, keep it cute, and stay glovely.